but the sauce, you gotta dip the bread in the sauce. I'm having the time of my life. I'm having the time of my life. I'm about to make a stew. I'm about to ask him if he has a nice little chutney stew. I'm not gonna eat all of that because that might plug you up a little bit. I'm gonna be honest with you on that one. I literally just did 30 squats inside the bathroom, so it's collapsible. Some people are like, but Alaska is technically Russia, so I'm okay. Look at that view of that London Eye right there. Close your eyes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the adventure begins with a beautiful sunrise. Would you look at that? Let's get this adventure started. All right, ladies and gentlemen, leg number 1. We are going from Colorado Springs Airport to Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas on American Airlines. We're going to be running first class today. This is such a chill airport. If you can go out of the Colorado Springs Airport rather than Denver, I highly, highly recommend it. It is so mellow here. Here about an hour early before my flight. If you are traveling through Colorado Springs Airport, they do have a brand new lounge right here, Global Lounge Network, you can check out. And let's go ahead and enter on in and see what we got here. This is located between gates 4 and 6 at Colorado Springs Airport. Okay, well, I'm thinking about it here, and it's fresh in my mind. Let me give you a wrap-up for what just transpired through check-in for business class, first class. So I took myself over in a little corner. It's actually busy in these because it's a little under construction, so there's not kind of a quiet area you can kind of find. But again, a very quiet airport. I got through security and TSA probably in 10 minutes or less. Probably 5 minutes. It's such a mellow airport. I highly recommend going out of this particular airport, definitely instead of Denver. My snowboard bag counted as one of my checked-in bags that weighed 47 pounds, and there was absolutely no issues at all, no second looking at it or anything. My next bag was 67 pounds, and that was also a checked-in bag. Again, business class go up to 70 pounds. So flying American Airlines with my big 168 cm snowboard bag was absolutely no issues. American Airlines, you have a win on this one. You know, Colorado Springs Airport is absolutely phenomenal. It's so mellow and easy to get through. Much better. Your anxious level goes down so much instead of going through Denver. The flight's delayed about 20 minutes or so, but no big issues with that. And so definitely, nice with that. Now, I am in a random corner, but, everyone's on their cell phones. No one's really paying attention to anything going on. So, regarding the lounge, I went. There's no access code you can enter in, but there's a woman sitting at a reception desk, and it's for Priority Club. Priority Club, I believe it's called. You can only have access by Priority Club, so it's a perk with your credit card. I think like American Express Platinum. She said that one credit card with the funny Viking commercials, something like that. So it's like a perk on a credit card. I might have had it with American Airlines City Card. Don't quote me on that one. I might need to look into that, but again, it's kind of small. It looked like there was like coffee, maybe some water, food, or something like that. So I might take a look at that after I'm done, making this little intro right here. But yeah, absolutely no issues with any of my items that I checked in. Snowboard bag and absolutely fantastic. So that is regarding the lounge, and that is regarding checking in with my snowboard bag. This DJI Osmo Pocket 3 camera with the microphone function, so I don't have to talk very loud. I can literally whisper, is absolutely fantastic. I have it on a tripod, and it's absolutely fantastic. I get a nice wide shot. There's nobody around. That's a big win. And an absolute fantastic travel hack, ladies and gentlemen, is get verified on X, or formerly known as Twitter, and you have access to Grok Beta Testing 3. You ask it any question, and I literally just asked it if I can get access with my Citi Advantage Platinum Select credit card, and it gives me a straight up answer of no, and it gives you the reasons why. It's absolutely fantastic. This is my go-to AI search engine for travel. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. I was asking it when I first got into the airport where the lounge was. It told me exactly where it was. I've planned about 95% of my trip with this AI Grok 3. Absolutely fantastic. And if you are wondering, I think I get verified with a check mark. I think it's about $11 a month. But that's also good for business tax write-off, especially if you're posting videos or content for X, formerly known as Twitter. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I love this app. This app is absolutely fantastic. American Airlines app. It tells me that I am delayed a little bit, and we are flying today. We're going to be flying on an Airbus A319. It'll tell you your seat number, scannable. I do have a printed out one as well, but we'll see what first class looks like on a Airbus A319, and this is flight 1812 out of Colorado Springs to Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. Close your eyes. Now, good news is if you are booking this flight
look it on the left side. So if you're looking at the pilot's cockpit, go left side. So you have this beautiful view of Pikes Peak. And sorry, it's not really in focus right now, but right here in front of us is beautiful Pikes Peak. It's a 14,000 foot elevated mountain. And again, if you're sitting on the left side, if you're looking towards the pilot's cockpit, you will have this view as you take off, which is absolutely incredible. Snow-capped peak. And forgive the tilt to it. It just sees that it has a little bit of a slight glance there. Absolutely beautiful. Once again, a 14,000 foot beautiful snow-capped Pikes Peak overlooking the entire Colorado City. There's downtown in the distance there, Garden of the Gods. Off in the distance, we're going to switch over cameras, see if we can zoom in a little bit closer. A little hack for you here. And there's incline of Manitou Springs, but do not fret, because as we take off and then we circle back around, now the right side of the plane has a view of Pikes Peak, and now we are looking east towards Kansas.
This heavy load got under your skin.
There's my house off in the distance there.
So again, this is east here. Now just a little heads up for you, if you are sensitive to turbulence, there will be turbulence. Because this is the Rocky Mountains, you'll get up to cruising altitude and it will be completely fine, but just giving you a little heads up if you are landing or departing out of Colorado Springs Airport, and even Denver as well. It's just the Rocky Mountains. You'll get some gusts that kind of go to and from, but we're leveling off now just a little bit until you get to about the 10,000 foot mark, but pilots are really good at knowing what they're doing. We just hit the double beep, which means 10,000 foot elevation climb, and then we're going to get to cruising altitude and head on to Dallas, Texas. Again, we're facing south, but the camera is facing east. Kind of a little bit plain and boring out the left side of the window. You'll have the Rockies on your right, so if you want to see Pikes Peak during your initial takeoff, absolutely. If not, go for the right side. You might get a little bit longer as you get to cruising altitude, but then we'll go past Pueblo and there really won't be any more mountains. Maybe the Raton Pass, Taos down in New Mexico. All right, let's check in with you here. So I'm sitting behind the bulkhead, I believe you call it the bulkhead, and I got plenty of room. I am 5'8", 5'9" on a good day, and my feet go all the way to the front area here. Now, the only problem about sitting behind the bulkhead is you don't have an under the seat in front of you area to put your backpack, laptop, etc. Now, after takeoff, you can grab those items and store them down below here. As you can see, I got plenty of room to my left for my backpack, a snack bag, etc. And I could even work on my laptop, which is really nice. And again, you have this little extra area right where my foot is to be able to give you a little bit of extra room to stretch out like this here. Again, I'm 5'8", and so this is perfect for my size of person. You do have this little carrying area right here where you can put your water bottle, and it is really nice as well. But over here on this side of my leg right here, I have plenty of room for my cameras, my camera equipment, my cell phone, etc. And then this little armrest to my left right here next to the window, this right here pops up for your tray table, which is located right here. If you wanted to get work done on a laptop, etc., that comes out, and then that will sit right in front of you right here on my lap while I'm working on my laptop. And also there is entertainment as well. Though there's no physical screen in front of you on the bulkhead or behind the seats behind me, you have to bring your own cell phone or laptop or tablet, and you have to log on to their information. It's all right here on this QR code right here. You sign on and you can watch movies free of charge, entertainment, etc. Here is a list of their current entertainment for March 2025. Again, watch for free. There's your sign-on instructions right there. And as you can see here, they got all sorts of television shows, movies, John Wick, etc. Also, they have, I believe, live TV as well. And then you can also connect to the internet right here. And I will let you know know about that. I believe even in first class, I don't believe it's free. I think you have to pay for your connecting to the actual internet. Now to my right leg, that is where you would put the seat in a recline position. And then they also came up out when I first boarded the plane, provided a drink if you want it right as you get on the airplane, and then came around after takeoff for another drink and snacks as well. Next to my right hand side, I have a full water bottle, 32 ounce right here next to me, and also slips down, it's kind of hard to see, but it slips down really deeply down there for cell phones, books. It goes down pretty far on your right hand leg right there. So definitely very nice, adequate space. Again, if you have your film equipment, your book, etc. And we'll get a better shot of the actual seat, but again, I'm pretty sure that is leather and it is very wide from the left and to the right hand side of the seat, as you can see. And then coming up here, the headrest tilts right here or flattens so you can lay your head like this if you want to here, or back like that right there. Now, according to the captain, I think it's only about an hour and 23-minute flight, so really not too much time to fire up a television show or do a long edit on your laptop. So I'm just enjoying a nice little book today. Also regarding champagne and alcohol beverages, I don't really drink, so I'm not going to ask about that, but if I find out information about it, I'll let you know if that is free, which I'm pretty sure it is. Certain alcoholic beverages for first class flight members. But overall, pretty comfortable seats. I just like how wide it is. I like how I can store everything right next to me. And if it was a longer flight, I definitely would be editing on the pull-out little table right here. But I got my book right here in front of me. We're going to go ahead and read a little bit more. Here's a better shot of how deep it is here. There's my book right there. And then you can see the armrest on top has plenty of room, so you're not fighting over the center armrest. The armrest actually is very wide, and you can put your coffee on this front area right here. And then this armrest is a little bit thinner, but plenty of adequate space to relax, take a little siesta as you look out the window. Not really much out there, but still nonetheless, you're flying first class, baby. Let's go. As we're heading into Dallas-Fort Worth, again, after about 10,000 feet, the turbulence backed off and it was an absolutely lovely flight. Now we're coming into Dallas-Fort Worth once again. I'm going to have about a 3-hour layover or so, 2 hours, maybe 45-minute layover in Dallas-Fort Worth. We're going to go find the lounge, but on my way back with a 5-hour layover, we're going to try to get into the city and go rip up a stand-up surf wave. Overall, a very pleasurable flight. Let's get you some shots of the seat before we do land. So once again, plenty of seating area here, plenty of headspace. I got 2 windows over here, as well as nice big comfortable seating right here. And as you can see, plenty of room for my shoulders, my arms, etc. Folks, welcome to Dallas, Texas. Beautiful, sunny, beautiful day, 79 degrees as we land and taxi up to shove on those brakes pretty well. A little bit windy coming in, but he landed absolutely beautifully.
You got the white knuckles holding on it tight, keeping your feelings bottled.
All right, so that direction there, if you're going straight, is the Admiral's Club. We're not going to go to the Admiral's Club. We're going to go to the Flagship Lounge, which is in the D terminal. So we have to make our way over here to the D terminal in the Skylink connection right here, Terminal D. I'm going to double confirm on that one, but it is the better out of the two. Again, the Flagship Lounge rather than the Admiral's Club. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Flagship Lounge is also the Capital One Lounge right here. As you can see, American Flagship Lounge and Capital One Lounge. And she just granted me access to business class with an international ticket, scoped it out, and is letting me in. Let's go in, take a little look. Alrighty, we have cheeses for the buffet. We got salad wedges, we got sushi. Do be careful of sushi though, if you are going to be running like sushi. We got apples in saran wrap, they look a little bit more plastic, but it's okay on that one. Bananas, little mandarins right here. All sorts of salads. Again, these lemon wedges or lettuce wedges, like cheeses. Again, a lot of different sushis. And this is all up for grabs for free. You don't have to pay for this as long as you have access to the Flagship Lounge. We have red miso soup here, Carpe soup right here. I won't pick that up, a little hard to do that with one hand. Let's go ahead and come on down here real quickly here, and check this out here. We have saffron rice filet. We got ourselves pan-fried steak Napoleon style right here. We got ourselves cod with Chardonnay citrus caper sauce. They got premium Ghirardelli hot chocolate right down here. Creamers. They got delectable honeys as well as your all your sorts of fancy teas. I'm gonna probably take some of those nice teas with me. Iced tea. We have brown butter grachnik. I don't even know what that is, to be honest with you. Lemon roasted asparagus, yes please. And harissa crispy potatoes. I think we have to try one. And right here is spicy ahi poke. We're definitely going to be grinding that. I kind of wanted to have some delectables, maybe a little bit of cheat day food, but to be honest with you, this food's too good not to enjoy some healthy treats. They also have this noodle bar here, as well as bone broth. I'm going to be the broth bar, I should say, and red miso soup. So I'm parking myself right here. Again, plenty of seating. I'm back here by the television room here. This direction here, they have what's called a quiet room. I won't go in there, but there are lay flat where you can take a nap, as well as some other chairs in the quiet room here. And that's right across from the TV room, which the TV room actually has a lot of room in there, so you can post up, just enjoy. And then we have all this good food here, USBs as well to recharge while you're eating. So let's tuck on in. Now they're calling it a different name. What I would call a miso soup is absolutely fantastic. It has a really good flavor to it, as well as the spicy pokey salad little cup right here, as we can see. The cod is probably a good solid 7.2575 out of 10. Potatoes are very nice. Obviously I've kind of waited a little while so they have cooled down, but potatoes we're looking at a good 8.25, 8.5. The asparagus is lovely at a 9. And again, the soup, which I would call the miso soup, that is a solid 10. That is absolutely incredible. And finish it up with a nice Proud Source sparkling water.
Now, just a reminder that everything in the flagship lounge is free once you're inside. Just grab it.
Now, definitely pace yourself, because if you are flying international like I am, we're going to be probably eating an hour after takeoff. So don't overdo it at the lounges. Make sure you get enough. Get to the filling point or a little bit before that. Have some delicacies, but leave room for some delectables on the flight.
Okay, overall, absolutely fantastic experience. A lot of workstations. You can get work done, editing done. You can sleep if you wanted to. So we got to beeline it. I am now about 30 minutes away from my departure, so we got to get going. But definitely a thumbs up in my book, Flagship Lounge.
All right, let's get on in and get seated. Now, the only problem about boarding late is if you can't, don't do it, because they almost took my roller bag, but since I'm business class, they didn't take my roller bag, which I need. So if I was in economy, they would actually take my roller bag and check it for free. But if you have electronics, if you have also sorts of stuff you need, like children's supplies, then that definitely becomes an issue. So unfortunately, families behind me were like trying to diversify their bags. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 12J is coming over here, 9, 11, and 12 and Mullen. This is me, ladies and gentlemen. This is me. Okay, so we will get all tuckered in and show you all the fun stuff. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get fired up here in just a second here, but I do want to state that this 777-300 from Dallas-Fort Worth here to my edge here, you do have this little encapsulated area right here, as well as you are completely sealed in over here. I'm 5'8", 5'9" on a good day, and there is plenty of leg room as well. Absolutely fantastic. But first thing we're going to do before we do sit down is we are going to sanitize a little bit. That's just my style and nature, is just I'm going to take some isopropyl alcohol. It's part of my travel hacks. And I'm going to go ahead and get some napkins. I'm going to wipe down a lot of these touching areas. I've also boosted my immune system for this flight, taking zinc and vitamin C. My cabin crew are absolutely phenomenal on this flight already so far, offering me a drink of champagne, coffee, or water right out the get-go. I was able to put my bag literally above me. I'll be editing and sleeping on this flight, maybe watching a movie, even doing maybe even a Bible study on this camera. So let's go ahead and give you a little bit of a preview of what we have before we do get underway, but I do need to sanitize the area here. And from my point of view right here, you have one window right here, one window right here, that's two windows, and then I have a half of another window right here. So you got half, a full window, and then pretty much a full one right there, but that's kind of on my neighbor's side, so I wouldn't bother with that one. I would probably get my incoming shots on this one right here. Now coming down to this table, I have my stuff, lying right here right now. And they have the menu underneath my little area right there, but this area right here is really large. I literally can put my laptop up there. I can have my dinner right there, and I probably will while I'm editing, set my laptop up there. I'm going to be able to vlog while I'm on this flight, putting my tripod up right here. And again, over here is, it's massive. Like my feet right here, again, I'm sitting straight up, or actually I'm slouched, and I think that's supposed to hold somebody that's like 6'5", like all the way to the back, and I think it's more than enough room. Coming around the bend right here, we have our noise canceling headphones. They've already come around before takeoff and asked me what I wanted for my main course, and so let me show you that to you now. Okay, so it starts out a small plate of pan-seared shrimp, tropical fruit, relish, mango, carpaccio, and then we have our salad as an arugula with toasted walnuts, dried apples, served with a balsamic vinaigrette. Assorted warm gourmet breads will be served with your meal, and then the main plate right here, this is what they take your order on because this is only a one choice, so they don't, they're just going to give it to you unless you say no. And they give you 4 choices for the main plates. So we have smoked beef brisket, which I got, and that has roasted broccolini, sauteed wild mushrooms, and romesco sauce. Next up is going to be seared, and sorry, the plane is going down the runway here, so the gimbal's moving. The next one is seared sea bass with turmeric and lemongrass, rice, roasted broccolini, and baby carrots, and Thai chimney sauce. And you can actually pre-order this as well for your pre-ordered menu, and I think there's a vegetarian option as well. Next is going to be grilled chicken with chili roasted potatoes, cottage cheese, sauteed spinach with smoked tomato sauce, and your final one is going to be the vegetable and garbanzo bean tangine, butternut squash, apple chutney, garlic couscous, and pomegranate seeds right there. To dessert, you have your traditional Haagen-Dazs ice cream, you have vanilla ice cream, you have hot fudge, butterscotch, seasonal berry topping with whipping cream, and chopped pecans. Next, you have a gourmet cheese plate with fresh fruit and selection of fine cheeses paired with olive oil and sea salt flatbread, and then you have a Belgian chocolate cheesecake tart. But today's agenda is going to be editing some YouTube videos. We're going to try to do a Bible study. We're going to get some sleep. Thank you so much. Just was brought a very nice hot towel. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and do this real quickly. Hold on one moment. It's small little touches like that are absolutely fantastic. Hot towel smelled a little bit like lemon sawgrass. It was absolutely beautiful. By the way, I brought my hair cutting kit. I'm going to give myself a little haircut. I kind of look like Bon Jovi or like Brad Pitt in, what's that movie? Legends of the Fall. Good for you, American Airlines. You've hired some excellent people. Okay, so for starters, we have ourselves a nice little LaCroix lime in a nice little glass right here with ice. And then warm nuts. Warm. They're warm. They're not in a little package. They're warm and they're not very salted at all. Absolutely delicious. So a little starter. Again, I don't want to overdo it because I just ate literally about, maybe it's been 2 hours. Maybe it's only been an hour and a half. I don't know. But it's cheat day today, so we're going to enjoy some nice little friendly products. The nuts, because they're warm and not as salty as the flagship lounge, these are very nice. These are definitely a 9.5 out of 10. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the first starter has come, and this is the pan-seared shrimp. We have ourselves a nice little salad here, which I'm going to take down that whole entire salad. And they put a little bit of Kerrygold pure Irish butter. You got some little salt and pepper shakers. I believe that's olive oil. And the shrimp looks absolutely dynamite. And then real silverware inside of this linen napkin. Let's get out and take a little gander at it. And chilled cutlery. So the cutlery is chilled. And I have 2 knives and 2 forks. So I got a salad fork and a dinner fork. And it's chilled with the napkin on my lap is chilled as well. Very, very nice. Good subtle little features here. I'll tell you what. All right, let's go ahead and tuck on into this, and I'll give you an update in a little bit. Please, yeah, I'll take maybe that one right there. Thank you very much. Alrighty, I got some nice little bread here as well. Hot bread, very nice. Very nice. Fresh salad. I think with that balsamic vinaigrette. The shrimp are very good, but the sauce, you gotta dip the bread in the sauce. And if you are wondering, nobody cares that you're vlogging. You be polite, and if the stewardess comes around, you just stop vlogging for a second, and then you just pick it back up when you're ready to go. Now, the problem with flights like this is you're spoiled. You never want to go back. You never want to go back to premium economy or the main cabin because, let's face it, I mean, I'm on a 9-hour flight. I haven't been on a flight this long. I went to Alaska this summer. That was like maybe, was that a 5-hour, 6-hour flight ballpark, somewhere around there? That was fine. Not that big of a deal. But if you have the points, if you have the hacks like I just did for this flight, 100%. Would I pay that much money to sit here? Maybe. That's a lot of money. You could buy 2-3 mountain bikes. I mean, that's a lot of money. You have to be a good steward of your resources that God's given you. But regarding miles and a little bit of tax, no brainer. No brainer in my opinion. Okay, I'm having the time of my life. I'm having the time of my life. I love this is reviewing. If you're a worried traveler, just vlog a review the whole time. I haven't even thought about anything. I'm just having the time of my life, just reviewing, just eating food, reviewing. I'm about to make a stew. I'm about to ask him if he has a nice little chutney stew. I'm talking top notch, healthy. I kind of want to turn this into a cheat day, but I don't think I have to. This is beautifully healthy food. This is a beef brisket. It looks like we have like sweet potatoes, but don't quote me on that one, and broccolinis. Let me go ahead and read the menu again and find out what that was. But they brought out both the shrimp and the arugula salad at the same time. And then this is our main course right here. Airline food that good? That tastes as good as a nice steak restaurant. And then this romesco sauce, which I thought was mashed sweet potatoes, is absolutely fantastic. I'm having the time of my life. Okay, I went for the cheese plate, and they have 3 grapes, 3 red, 3 green, some cheeses, and then a little bit of sauce here. I'm not going to eat all of that because that might plug you up a little bit. I'm going to be honest with you on that one. And then you do have some sourdough flatbread with olive oil and sea salt in a package with some fresh cutlery. Absolutely fantastic with that jam right there as well. Very delectable, but a little too much. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. If I were to take that whole entire thing down, I mean, that's a lot of cheese. That's a lot of cheese. Port side, beautiful hue of the sunset setting as we're 7 hours. I just checked the map up by the bathroom, and I'm gonna get some footage of the bathroom. The bathroom is the best airline bathroom I've ever seen. I literally just did 30 squats inside the bathroom. There was enough room because of the partitions with that roundabout, which is really, really nice ambient lighting, etc. Absolutely stunning. And when I was at the bathroom looking back, I couldn't see anybody. All you could see is like their head right up here because of how high these walls are. So I was like doing my stretches and stuff, and I was looking back to see if anyone was looking at me funny. I couldn't see anybody. Everyone's hidden. And then there's like, between premium economy, there's like a little makeshift little curtain. This is really, really cool. So again, this is the snack area here. You got all your little delectables here, your chips and all that kind of thing. This is kind of what they offered us on the first leg from Colorado Springs to Dallas-Fort Worth. You got waters up here, a nice big screen right here. And then they also have some nice little fruit parfaits, I think some cheeses, looks like some little sandwiches and stuff like that, as well as some like little cookie platters, and then some little silverware if you want to do it. So yeah, again, they got another cheese platter right there. If you do get hungry, come up here. This is the middle section of the flight right here, where you can get all of your little snacks and stuff like that after hours. But I'm gonna go brush my teeth and probably get ready for bed. But nice little alleyway here. You could do your push-ups and squats right here if you really wanted to. Estimated time 5:53, 5 hours and 53 minutes to London. This bathroom is actually smaller than the one on the other side of the plane, which is kind of interesting. I'm not sure if that's like wheelchair access or not. Don't quote me on that one, but I mean, I could still do squats in here. It's just a smaller bathroom. The other one had a lot more room. Same layout, just more room on the other side. Okay, so You have a nice big sink right here with LED lighting. I'm gonna go ahead and brush my teeth once again. Tissue paper, and you know, fairly clean. You know, people are taking care of it. A little mirror right here, and then flipping you around to some tissue. And actually the other bathroom was actually nicer. It had like freshener spray, and so out of the 2 bathrooms, unfortunately, it was taken. But hey, look at that. I got my blue light blockers, and I thought I was going to do a marathon editing session, Bible study. I think your boy's going to wrap up and get some sleep. I'll tell you what, looking good. But I think I'm going to still do my squats, brush my teeth, and go to bed. I'll show you what's in this in the daytime. I think people might be waiting, so I don't want to take up too much time. But toothbrush, toothpaste. Most people are asleep already with 6 hours to go. Now, on my way back, it's not going to be an overnight flight because I'm going in reverse. So I like that. The only thing is trying to get this top off this toothpaste. That takes a bit of effort. And actually, I think it's the cabin crew just talking. Oh, duh. Use the top and then poke it. I graduated high school, so it's collapsible, and we're looking good. I'm gonna do 30 more squats before bed. The lighting in here is absolutely superb. Like, it's really nice. I mean, come on. How about that lighting? Look at the striations. Look at those things. Good morning. Oh yeah. Took a nice long time to crash out, but I definitely think I caught at least probably 2.5, 3 hours, something like that. We got about an hour and a half until we land in London, and I'll explain a couple hacks for you here inside the little bag they give you. But nice and flat. We'll get some shots of this. We'll get some nice cup of coffee going. And they should have breakfast coming around here in just a little bit here. So let's give you a few little shots here as we got my little comfortable pillow. I got the little eye mask that was in the little bag. And they provide a nice little blanket as well. I am fully stretched out. Let's go ahead and give you that shot here. So for being 5'8", 5'9", I can stretch out literally the entire way. All the way to the back right here. I mostly slept on my side, but a little bit on my stomach because I am a thinner guy. Again, you can just chill. Very nice. Got my pillow right here and my little blanket right here. And who's that right there? That's guest star right there. Hold on. Oh, he's hiding. Hold on one second. That's poop emoji right there. Good old poop emoji. And I decided to go with and then they, get it out pretty quick. I decided to go with fruit and yogurt. The other option was a Spanish frittata, and they have it all ready to go. It's just one or the other. And it is currently still dark outside, if you were wondering. Poop emoji slept really well. And let's go ahead and tuck into this. Again, Spanish frittata or Greek yogurt and granola and fresh fruit. They also brought around, you could choose croissant, cinnamon roll, or bread. You could get all three if you really wanted to. I don't think they would mind. Again, I don't think I'm doing a full cheat day, but having just a couple little small bites of things and trying them out. Croissant is very nice. Warm, delicious, le croissant. And then a nice hot cup of coffee, which is actually really nice. With the breakfast, just finished it up. The granola was very nice. I didn't finish all the yogurt. We'll keep it light on my toes. We are going to go to the lounge after visiting the city or vice versa. So we're going to have some more delectable treats here in just a little bit. Ah, yes. Thank you very much. Do love the swivel of the tray table. The staff is awesome, very attentive, and they picked up trash next to me without me even knowing. They closed my window, so they're spot on. To be honest with you, it took me a while to fall asleep last night just because I kept thinking about all the different things I was going to film. So here's an outside shot of ambient light coming in. You can actually see the sun rising this direction here. Look at that. Absolutely stunning. So that's 2 sunrises we've seen now. So that's going to start peaking up there. Thank you, Lord Jesus, for this beautiful day. His promises are fresh and new every morning. So I'll definitely probably get another coffee because the cups are a little bit small, but not bad. Mid-flight snacks, we've already covered that. All that stuff, and if you're ordering alcoholic beverages this early in the morning, you got a problem. I'm sorry. Airport rules do not apply, ladies and gentlemen. I do still have my seltzer water. They did leave that. Poop emoji is hanging out right here. That's where Poop emoji hangs out. That decaf espresso that I had at the flagship lounge was absolutely phenomenal. It was very lovely. So this is the larger bathroom, and this thing is absolutely massive compared to the other one. I have my slippers on right now, and you definitely can do some squats. So I might as well bang out 30-40 squats right now, go pee, get back to my seat, order another coffee. So just did 50 squats. Bed lays flat, but you can go at like a little half tilt, full all the way down, like mini tilt if you like to be a little bit more upright while you sleep, but your legs are still kind of going down. So the seat is really nice. And then they have that one push button. Actually, it's not push button. You got to hold it down. So you go all the way flat. But once you go all the way flat, like you're still elevated a little bit, and then you keep hitting the flat button, and then your head area will go down slowly till you get flat, which is nice. But again, you're going to need all that foot room where my backpack and other bag were all the way down the corridor. So you tall folks that are 6 foot and over, you're going to have to still, you won't be able to stretch out completely. You're going to have to be in the fetal position. Because I'm short, I actually can go full spread out, no fetal position. I typically sleep in the fetal position anyway, kind of, crunched up a little bit like that. But giving you a heads up about that one. The seat, very cool. Do wish they would have gave you like a little sheet to put down to lay on top of the sheet, and then the blanket over you. It is cooling off a little bit, but honestly, I didn't really need the blanket. I thought I was going to put a hoodie on last night because typically planes are cold. This one wasn't that cold. It's a little chilly this morning in London, but it should be a high of 51, I think it was. But right now it's about 31 degrees Celsius. No, not 31 degrees Celsius, 31 degrees Fahrenheit. So overall, the business class, definitely a thumbs up on my book. Now let's break it down. The hospitality and service was definitely a 10. Everyone was super friendly, very attentive, and they did a great job. Once again, you hire good people, American Airlines. Next up would be the food. The food I would give, a solid 8.5 across the board. The dinner last night was, to be honest with you, like a 9, easy 9. And 10 being the best thing you've ever had. I'd say a solid 9. The breakfast this morning, the fruit and granola, it was a 7.5, The salad last night and the shrimp, those were great. Those were 8.5. The coffee was delicious this morning. Seltzer waters, of course, were absolutely phenomenal. So overall, I'm going to give, what did I just give? I'm still kind of waking up. I think I just gave the food a solid 8.5 across the board. The seat is very spacious and comfortable. I definitely enjoyed that. I enjoyed the width of it. I enjoyed putting my leg up and literally can fold it over. I can fold it like this. I can fold it like this. I can go down. I can put my arm back. For my size, I fit all the way down. I tossed and turned a little bit. I'm a small in shape guy. Again, 5'8", 5'9" on a good day, 150 pounds, so I can flip-flop. But it was actually kind of funny, like going to the bathroom late at night and then walking back and seeing everyone asleep. People are funny, man. Some people are like, and then some people are this way, that way. It's just kind of funny to see people sleep, to be honest with you. It's a little quirk, Overall, a really good experience. I mean, it's a no-brainer in my case, going from the U.S. to Europe, using my miles. I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but this is my first time in London, and it's an absolutely beautiful day. Like, not a cloud in the sky, just a little bit of a haze, but absolutely stunning. I'm going to try to get a little bit better shot. Yeah, there's a nice little trough of water right there. That's not the Thames, obviously, but very beautiful nonetheless. And Heathrow is, a little bit outside of London proper. I think London's on the other side of the plane, off in the distance. Don't quote me on that one. I am sitting on the right-hand side of the plane if you're looking towards the cockpit. But looking out the left window, I don't see any sky buildings, sky rises, or anything like that. But anyway, beautiful little fjords. I'm just going to call them fjords. Now, a lot of people, what they say actually is even if you have a layover in a country, it doesn't count at the airport. So that's why I'm going to go into the city to officially count it as another country on the list. Praise the Lord as we land in London. London, England. Welcome to London, England. Thank you, Jesus, for landing us safely. And thank you, Lord, for the beautiful blessings of this trip. In Jesus' name, amen. Welcome to London, England. All right, ladies and gentlemen, just landed in London, England, and I have T-Mobile having a reception in London, England. Let's take it off airplane mode. T-Mobile, and your internet is provided for. Calls are going to be 25 cents a minute, and text messaging is included in the plan as well. So really cool about T-Mobile. So phone calls, once again, are 25 cents. Internet is free with your US plan as well as text messages. My final destination is going to be France, and the same thing is in France as well. Absolutely fantastic. The internet will be a little bit slower than you're used to in the US, so you have to understand that. So do keep that in mind. Right now I'm on LTE if you are wondering. So just landed in London.
Walk straight down towards your right.
Thank you. And the British folks are so nice. Goodness gracious, this airport. I've never been to an airport before where right as you get off the flight, like 6 or 7 different people have already asked you, hey, where are you going? Go this way. Like super, super helpful for international flights. Now, something to keep in mind as well, if you have a connection like I do from London Heathrow to Geneva, because of the partnership with British Airways, I don't have to go through customs or go get my bags and then go through customs and then recheck, which is absolutely fantastic. If I was flying another carrier that's not one of American Airlines partners, I would actually have to go collect my bags, go through customs, and that's pretty much a huge hassle. That takes a long time. So this is absolutely fantastic partnership, meaning that I just need to stash these carry-on bags, figure out where I'm going, and then go into the city, and I'm gonna save a lot of time doing that, which is absolutely fantastic. And we got some, see, we got workers all over the place. Let me show you real quickly here, and they help you out, talking about international connections.
Terminal 2, 4 and 5 this way.
Right here, Terminal 4 and 5. So I'm gonna go get acquainted where I need to go first, and that is Terminal 5, and then I'm gonna see about exiting the airport. First, I need to find a bag drop. Again, I don't know if the lounges have a bag drop or not. We're gonna check on that one, but we got ourselves a hot minute before we need to get on this flight, next flight. So, good old London. Good news, London Heathrow has filtered water right here, so I just filled up my water bottle. That saves a few ducats, put back in my pocket. All right, ladies and gentlemen, instead of going to Terminal 5, if you are coming from Dallas-Fort Worth, I'm actually, well, right now, about 7 hours and 15 minutes layover. Well, it's supposed to be full 8 hours, but by the time you get, you know, bathroom and all that stuff, so anyway, right now it's about 7 hours and 15-minute layover. And I'm like, you know what, that's enough time to go to the city. Why am I gonna sit in a lounge for 7 hours? And I've never been to London before. And you have to exit the airport in order to officially be in the country. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and go through immigration, then go to arrivals. I'm gonna go ahead and put my bags in a storage facility. It's like excess baggage or something like that. So I actually have to go through customs. So you have to time this out just right. But I'm gonna go into the city for 2 hours. I'm gonna go see the sights. I'm gonna go get myself like a little electric scooter. And you know, you're gonna have to plan it perfectly, right? So the cheapest option is doing public transportation, but that gets a little tedious. And so I just looked it up. Yeah, it costs a little bit of money, but an Uber right now, well, it might be a little bit longer with morning traffic once I get there, but it was only like 20 minutes, I think, into the city. Arrivals, baggage claim, departure, lounges, I think, baggage claim, reclaim, airline service does, departure lounge. Let me find out where I'm going here. Hold on one second. And so an Uber is gonna be like 50 pounds. Oh, zoomed in here. Hold on one second. An Uber is gonna be like 50 pounds. And you know what? I don't know when the next time I'm gonna go to London, so that'll be a little bit of an investment, so let's go ahead and do it. All right, arrivals, baggage reclaim. Let's go find out departure gates. We don't want departure gates. We want to go up to arrival. So I found myself a baggage storage. I'll talk with that in just a second here. Here's Emirates pickup here. Emirates has this whole entire like concierge service over here, and then you jump in your town cars right over here. Bathrooms are right here. So I found a help desk, so they take care of it. Unfortunately, this hotel, I already asked them, they couldn't check any bags, but it's going to be £10 for 3 hours, and you pay when you get back. So the place is actually right over here, and customs was super easy. I just scanned the passport, didn't even talk to anybody. It was the easiest customs I've ever been to in my entire life. This is the baggage service right here, again, and we'll get more shots on that one when I get back. But again, 3 hours, 10 euros. And so now we're going to book an Uber, and I believe the Ubers pick up over yonder here. Railway group travel. I think you have to take the elevator up, and then you have to go across the street over yonder there. All right, I'm gonna make it super easy on myself, and I'm just gonna take an Uber to the city. Yeah, public transportation is cheaper, and yeah, Uber's gonna take a little bit longer because there is an accident on the highway right now, but I'll kind of explain the directions. So over where I was, you gotta walk up to short car stay 3 and go to level 3. And directions are on Uber if you do book it, and it's going to cost me about £49 and change to do it. And again, a little bit of traffic right now, but it's not going to be too bad. I think that might be my driver over there, so let me go take a little gander here. I definitely wish there were locker facilities instead of one of those like man check-in places. The reason why is I wanted to consolidate a bag to do an electric scooter, which I still might do. If not, I'm just going to walk around, again, spin a little bit and see some sights here. But sometimes, you know, you just spend a little extra when you don't really know exactly what you're doing, but you understand Uber, you understand where you're going, and you need to get back at an appropriate time. So let's see here. I think this might be my guy right here. Let's see. This is my guy right here in the nice little electric vehicle.
This is the Natural History Museum.
Right here, we're on our way to Big Ben, and then we're gonna, of course, that's actually a beautiful building, goodness gracious. And then we're gonna be heading over to go check out Buckingham Palace. Don't have too much time. We're gonna just kind of do a quick little roundabout, but people hanging out in front of the Natural History Museum. And it's absolutely a beautiful day here in London as we're going by the beautiful, what we call in New York, brownstones. But look at that little gorgeous place there. Let's go ahead and check out what we got here. We're coming up to a famous little red big bus. You'll see, you guys know those right there. Don't know if I'll have time to get on one of those, but oh, and then we got to see the famous phone booths, the red phone booths right there, of course. Absolutely fantastic.
Up inside, heading for
Really high class area.
Okay.
Expensive houses all in here.
So are all these like apartments right here? People live here?
Yes.
Okay, and millions of pounds.
Yes, these are
Wow. Okay.
top.
Okay, that almost reminds me of Paris over there, that little building way over there.
Embassies are here as well. So.
Wow, a lot of fancy cars, all sorts of. All right, we're coming down to the London Eye, which we're gonna stop at this light here. Let me show you the London Eye in the background there. And this is absolutely stunning. First time in the city. Central London, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely fantastic. We're gonna be going to Big Ben and checking out Buckingham Palace. Very nice. We'll get some better shots, ladies and gentlemen, but wow, there it is. Very nice. Unfortunately, just missed the chimes at Big Ben. It is now 10 a.m. Nice little beautiful chimes. Missed that unfortunately, but hey, we're here, baby. Make a long story short, I got out of the coolest Uber guy ever. I got out of my Uber and I didn't look, and I almost took out a biker, and he cursed me out. And so that wasn't good, but anywho, we're in London, and it's almost like those New York videos where the guys, you know, almost like, you know, you open up the car door and a biker is literally going right there. And unfortunately, you know, sometimes that does happen. Anyway, here is the Thames River. We're gonna get some better shots of this, but this is the beautiful Big Ben right here. You got the London Eye right here, so we're hitting all the spots. And there's some fancy little hotel around here somewhere, but this is the Thames. You can do your boat river tours and all that kind of stuff right here. A lot of people. It's been a while since I've been in a big city. There's your Uber boat right there. Beautiful building right here. But London Eye, probably go walk over there. I don't have too long because I want to see Buckingham Palace and get back to the airport at an appropriate time. A little chilly out here. Definitely need a jacket. It'd be nice if I had a little beanie as well. I might put my hat on just because of my hair, so I can take take some better photos. But there is your Big Ben right there, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very nice. That thing is pretty prominent. That's a pretty cool photo right there. That is very, very beautiful in person. Good night. When you get a little bit further away, I got dropped off on that busy corner down over there. But when you come back over this direction, the camera's not doing it justice. That's absolutely stunning just with the architecture of that building. Goodness gracious. I'm gonna jump over there on that side as well. All right, we are underneath the London Eye, ladies and gentlemen. And this is actually a cool little path right here. Let me go ahead and bring you on down here. I'm seeing some joggers, and there's actually joggers like they're jogging right there. Ah, this camera's not doing it justice. That is such a beautiful view right there. So I got about 1 hour and 45 minutes before I probably should start my trek back, just because I don't want to like overdo it. And it did take quite a bit of time to get out here with the Uber, but that is spectacular, absolutely spectacular. If there was more time, if there was like a layover, probably would do the London Eye, but you know, I could always come back. But again, I'm not gonna, you know, go on London. I don't even think it's running right now, to be honest with you. I think they have to load that sucker up, but we're gonna walk down here just a little bit more this direction. And then there is like the Shrek thing, and then like a museum. There's so many tourists here. I'm hearing so many different languages from French to Portuguese already, but we need to end up back over there to jump on the tube, and I think I'm going to take the tube back. He says my Uber driver was so cool. He's like, you know what? He's like, you can Uber here, but you know, no delays. The underground goes directly into terminals 1 and 3, and I need to go back to terminal 3, pick up my bag that I dropped off. So we're just going to keep hoofing it. Not to mention, I need to burn some calories. Didn't get a workout in yesterday. Did some squats, but I need to get some steps in. That is for sure. So let's cruise this way a little bit more and take a little gander here. So down here, no wonder people jog down here. This is absolutely stunning. The sun is hitting us right now. Absolutely glorious. Big, beautiful buildings over here to the left. It's a really kind of a cool park. So the London Eye is literally right above us right here. And there are some toilets down over here, which I'm going to go check out. But the scenery and these like big, massive buildings, I just wish the camera was doing it justice, but probably luxury penthouse apartments, just like New York, but absolutely phenomenal. Not to mention this sky and then these skylines up here. This is a cool little park right here. So it's almost like Central Park, and then these would be your luxury New York apartments right here. I also don't recommend carrying an extra tote bag with you. I didn't want to consolidate. I might want my water, but I should have checked that in. Just a backpack is totally fine, but when you have a backpack and a tote and you have to kind of like get your shots and kind of worry about like setting your tote down, that might be a little bit of an issue. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit this public toilet real quick. Hopefully there's not a crazy big line, and then I'm gonna go work my way back to the Buckingham Palace area. Okay, if you want the best Great British fish and chips, right here, it's called City Hall. There are also free restrooms just inside to the left by the London Eye office where you get tickets. So there are a couple restrooms right there if you are for some restrooms, because I went down a little bit further down that direction and there's bathrooms, but it's like $1, it's like £1 just to use the bathroom. And the first London Eye, I think, is 11 a.m. But now let's go that direction there and get back to where we need to go over yonder. I mean, if I'm not advertising that I'm from the United States with my Alaska hoodie, hey, but Alaska is technically Russia, so I'm okay. Look at that view of that London Eye right there. Tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, I definitely like the little cap chapelle, and glasses kind of makes me blend in a little bit more. So this area seems super, super safe down here. This jogging path next to the river right here, the River Thames, is absolutely incredible. That's why people obviously jog here. So I'm going to go up the stairs this direction. I'm going to cross over and head down this direction, and then I'm going to work my way over to Buckingham Palace and see a couple sites, the House of Parliament, and I think also Abbey, where the kings and queens get married. So let's go down there now and check that out. Well, to be honest with you, besides the bicyclist, that was my fault, that I almost cookout. That cursed me out. English people are really, really nice people. Goodness gracious, everyone I've talked to. It's like they're even nicer than people in Colorado. Super friendly, super helpful, like even in London. You know, you would never find that in Los Angeles, like super helpful, super smiley. And I'm just getting a kick out of their accents, man. I love it. I love it. I mean, like, you know, obviously, you know, English people in movies, but everyone's like, hey, you know, you got Queen's English, and then you like got a little bit of the slang, but it's funny, man. So you can get Uber bikes. I was gonna get a scooter, but I don't see anybody zipping around here on any scooters. So I think I'm gonna skip the scooter, and here's the black taxis, you know, the famous black taxis. But let's just cruise up a little bit more and get a little bit better of a shot right over here. Now, if you are gonna step off the curb, do be careful. Don't hit any bikers, and be careful when you step off because the cars are literally behind you. That is a really stunning shot though, I'll be honest with you. Okay, Big Ben, and this is the front side. And sorry, the sun is just gonna nail this shot right here, but absolutely stunning pillars here. Now, we're gonna go around this direction here and go see Westminster Abbey, which is right around the corner. Over down yonder here, all your big red buses right here. So we'll check out Westminster Abbey. Just be careful where you're walking because some of the taxi cab drivers, you know, just be careful of jaywalking. That's all I'm gonna say. Look at these big, beautiful buildings here. So we're gonna cruise around yonder. This is St. Margaret's Church, Westminster Abbey. And of course you can take tours of it, but we don't unfortunately have time for all that. A lot of rich history here though. Good night. So you can see all the sights. Big Ben is literally right there. London Eye right behind it. And then the town square here. So everything is like located right here. Buckingham Palace is gonna be, I'll time it. It shouldn't be too bad of a hoof, but I'm gonna walk down here a little bit more, get some photos, then head to Buckingham Palace, and I think I'm gonna call it a day after that. Don't want to press my luck too much with my flight, even though I'm technically in the country, but my snowboard and everything are on a flight to Geneva, so I need to get there. These Twin Towers are beautiful. There's a better shot when the sun is behind it. You can kind of see the colors a little bit better, as you can see right here. Let's flip that camera around, as we can see right here in that beautiful shot. Take a look at that. Here's another backside shot of the two pillars, looking gorgeous, but we need to work our way to Buckingham Palace. As my Uber driver was dropping me off here, these little side streets like in central London are absolutely phenomenal, but the wealth around here is crazy. Like, it's bonkers. Like Range Rovers and Rolls Royce. I mean, I guess like any major city, but just a trip though. Like this street right here, this totally reminds me, okay, we're out here, central London, and then you cruise around down a street like this, and this reminds me of just these little, small, absolutely stunning areas that are just like in the middle of the city, but just how much quieter it is coming down, and I just wanted to walk down here. So I'm taking the kind of the long roundabout to Buckingham Palace because the signs were behind me. Old brick buildings, and these are people's apartments. Like, I'm literally walking by people's kitchen windows right now, and it's absolutely stunning. You know, new mixed with old. It's a trip, man. It's a trip. Now off to Buckingham Palace, which the grounds, I think I went the wrong way. I kind of went the long detour around. Here we are right over here. We're gonna get a better shot of that in just a second. And I don't know if I'm here for the changing of the guard or not, but let's cruise to the front of Buckingham Palace. And what you're hearing is, unfortunately, there was an incident down that street over there. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but I think this helicopter is going to be landing in that area right over there. So this area right here, yeah, that chopper is literally going to land right in that grassy knoll right there. So here is Buckingham Palace. Again, the changing of the guard is during certain times of the day. I'm not sure exactly when that is, but you have your big fountain right here. A lot of taxi cabs. Oh, there's London Eye just straight over there. Okay. So yeah, I think I went the long way, but here, my friends, is where the Queen hangs out right here. So let's wander around here for just a split second. This is definitely a lot of tourists around here, that is for sure. You can stand up on the steps, get your shots. We'll get, oh, hold on. The guard's moving. Hold on a second. The guard is moving. Let's go take a little peek-see. They're moving a little bit right there. Back and forth, back and forth. I don't think they're doing the changing of the guard. So there's two over there, and there's two right here, and there's doing their marchabouts right here. going back and forth. And then, yep, and then those two guys are back to where they were. So they're just, moving the legs a little bit. But that, my friends, is Buckingham Palace. Very, very cool. So you got that gravel on the entryway, the gold, and then here's those fountains that are right out front. So the water is in right over here. We'll go around there real quick and take a look at that. Beautiful entryway into the palace down these streets right here. And then, it's literally in the heart of London Central. The beautiful waters. I don't see any change in there, so I don't think you're allowed to throw any pennies or any quarters in there unless they cleaned it up very, very quickly. But there, my friends, that is Buckingham Palace. Okay, well, the only problem about walking around is finding restrooms, especially if you've had coffee, and the lack of sleep on the flight, and kind of a little bit of adrenaline, getting a little bit tired. I don't want to press it too much. I don't think there's anything really else to see, to be honest with you. So I'm going to check out Ubers. I'm going to see how easy it is to get the tube back, check traffic, because ladies and gentlemen, more adventure awakes. But if you've ever seen the show The Crown, this is it. This is it. This is called the Green Park, and it's really nice. It's almost like Central Park. Beautiful. And I'm heading up to the, should be some restrooms, I think. I saw on the map up here. This is across the street from Buckingham Palace. There's some cute little dogs. So I'm gonna go up here and then see if I can catch my Uber from up here near the bathrooms. The only thing I didn't do, which I would have loved to do, there might be time, but again, rather not rush it, is I'd love to jump on one of those double-decker red buses. But you know what though? If I'm ever back in the area with a future missus, we'll go ahead and do that then. So the restroom should be across the street and then up to the right up here. And again, this is called the Green Park. All right, here is Terminal 3. I drop my bags off right over here. And then what you do for the Uber, you walk across that little bridge up there, and then you go up to level 3 up on that parking structure, and that's where the Ubers pick up right over there. And where I showed you the Emirates is right over there. Again, the bag drop is right over here. This is departures, so I'm gonna have to go grab my bag, get through security, and then head over to Terminal 5. I do have plenty of time, but let's get it cooking. So if you're going from Terminal 3, which I was at, you actually have to take a lift to train, and it's a free train transfer ticket. So again, it's a free train transfer to Terminal 4 and 5, but it's kind of far away, to be honest with you. I think we're looking at 10 more minutes before it comes, and then it then you go to Terminal 5 to grab my flight. So definitely give yourself enough time, especially if you are going into the city. We're in the tube right here, waiting to transfer. All right, we are heading to the Lounge South, British Airways, which is also linked up with American Airlines, but I am taking a British Airways flight. And this segment's first class. So, goodness, I wonder if I actually can get the Concorde room right now. That would be really interesting. I don't know if I wanted to film both, because technically this leg is British Airways first class. So I'm gonna go to the south. The one at the north, she actually said it was pretty busy, and I'll go back to that one if there's time, just to film it. But this is located all the way down here. Now I'm gonna find out about the Concorde room as well. I'll definitely be able to get in on my way back, but I just don't know if I want to walk around. I'm pretty beat after going into London for the day and not getting a full night's sleep. We got all sorts of fancy shops, Tiffany's, Hermes, Cartier. Behind me we got Louis Vuitton. Over yonder there, Cartier and Tiffany. And we got Gooch, the Gucci Moochie. So we're going to the Lounge South, which is all the way down here, past Louis Vuitton, and then past the Gooch. There we go, British Airways South Lounge. Let's go check it out. Let's go check it out. Sorry if it was too close to my mouth. Go check it out. Let's head on in the lounge and see what we can get ourselves up to. The Southie Lounge. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, a quick little update. Because it's a business international ticket, they scanned my boarding pass. Unfortunately, couldn't get into the gallery's first lounge, which is right next to the Concorde room. So Concorde room is only for first class passengers, and gallery's first, I think, is for only first class passengers as well. I thought this segment was British Airways first class, which it should be, or business class. I might be in like the first seat in the business class, but technically the ticket was was a business class ticket. So I actually have to go all the way back where I came from to the North Lounge, and I'm able to get in there with my international business ticket. So again, if you ever have any questions, they'll scan your pass, and by the time I get over there, I'll still have like an hour and 15 minutes before my flight. So I'm just gonna buzz in. I'm gonna probably get maybe a little bit of food, get some water definitely, and go to the bathroom a little bit. It's a little busy over there, but we're gonna go check it out. But the Concord room, galleries first is you would go left, and the Concord room you would actually go right. And we will be going to the Concord room because we have that access on the way back. And for some reason, if they say no, which I don't think they would, but if they do, then I get to go to galleries first. So anyway, I'm getting my steps in for sure. Also, I don't have time to go to it, but there is, I believe, a satellite lounge like in the middle of Terminal 5, where you actually have to take this little tram or something to it or walk over there. But again, it's in the middle of Terminal 5. And so, anyway, if I had more time, I'd check it out. But, oh, you know what? I think I jumped upstairs a little too early because I got to go all the way down to the north side now. Man, that's a good solid, like, at least a half-mile walk, I think. Ballpark, something like that, to get all the way down here. All right, let's go.
To really live, you got.
All right, let's check out what the Galleries Lounge has to offer here. We got ourselves coffee, regular coffee, decaf coffee. I definitely need a coffee. We have fresh fruit here. I'm gonna grab me one of those guys right there. We got some teas. And again, this is probably not gonna be as, like, you know, hip to the flip as the flagship, but you know, Galleries First is better, but this is just giving you a little heads up. We got some little wafers here. Looks like some chocolate little things here, as well as, again, stir sticks. Everything is kind of plug and play over here on the, and then a little water refill station here, which I definitely need to get some of that right now. Throw a couple limes in there. Let's go ahead and put that down by my spot. All right, so I got about 1 hour on the dot until my flight. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a cup of coffee, not do it too late, find out where my gate is, but I just wanted to come in here. Did change my shirt in the bathroom. They do have showers, which are right behind me, over yonder there, as well as bathrooms back behind me over there. And let's go check out the food spread and see what we got. If you like wines, they got wines. They got some cocktail free, or alcohol free, I should say, right there. I think they should have some tonic water, a little bit of champagne, all sorts of little different champagnes. And if you got a view right here, you can get up here and watch the planes come in right at the little bar seats, which are really nice. Let's go check out right over here. This is all free if you are wondering. And you got fully stocked up, like the flagship in Dallas-Fort Worth. Maybe not as premium, but you got your olives, pretzels, chips and nuts and stuff like that over here. Crazy busy in here right now, so I won't get too thorough. But nice salad fixings. I'm gonna grab some of that. And some carrots. Coming down around here, we got ourselves some little action right here. Little frittatas, pasta, potatoes, chips over there on that side. You got all sorts of dressings here. You got some nice hummus. You got some breads, croissants. Over here you got a little hot action, like little mini pizzas, pasta. Your chips and guacamole over here. Jalapenos. And then again, your water stations, your oranges, your bananas. And also your sweets right over here. Actually, no, not sweets. Got a nice little wrap looking right there. I think we're gonna check out one of those. We got little sandwich options right here. So we got little sandwich options, which are nice. Jellies, all that. I'm gonna grab me one of those. And then your soup bar over here with some bread. And it looks like it is some good little portions right there. I'm not sure exactly what kind of soup it is, but we'll skip out on the soup today. Then you have a little champagne bar over here. And then, yeah, I think the coffee is back where I was. Way back over here, but you do have that action right there. Oh, I know, there's another coffee machine towards the entrance as well, if you want to get after that. I need to recharge my camera, but the lounge is actually getting a little bit more quiet right now. It must be kind of a busy day to depart. Coffee was delicious. Fruit was delicious. Salad was very refreshing. I didn't really go for anything major. Anyway, it's a it's a really nice lounge. Busy, but it's a nice lounge. Now again, there is, I believe, a satellite one on. It's like in the middle. So it's like Terminal 5. There's like A, which I'm in A, and then there's like B and C. So I think in the very middle is Terminal 5B. There's another lounge where you'll have access if you are business class. And that lounge, I actually watched another YouTuber, and that lounge is really, really nice. It's a little bit more chill, more quieter if you can't get into Gallery's first lounge. This lounge is very adequate, but again, I came from the flagship in Dallas-Fort Worth. So a little bit, with the food and everything, a little bit of a downgrade, but still a really clean facility, excellent coffee. I didn't see anything like, no grab and go stuff, like the flagship lounge. So that definitely takes precedence if you haven't seen my video already, but you can grab some fruit. I'll probably grab a banana to go just because I need something for my oatmeal tomorrow morning. So I'll probably grab a couple pieces of fruit on my way out, which I actually need to grab that and get going. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, I need to jump to my gate. Okay, so I had to go through security again. Definitely give you just plenty of time if you're going to go into London for the day. I got my bag flagged, I got my boarding pass flagged, and it delayed me. Going out, I didn't even talk to anybody with customs, but I had to check everything. I had to take out my ointments, deodorants, suntan lotion, put it in a separate bag. So I'm definitely not used to that. I'm used to keeping everything in, but you could leave your laptop in, etc. But I also had to take that train to Terminal 5, and there was like a 10-minute or like 15-minute wait for the train, and then you had to like climb, some like escalator or whatever. It wasn't that bad, but just give yourself plenty of time so you're not rushing, and get hydration, which I'm going to go get. But definitely worth going out, seeing London for the day. I didn't get too much time in the lounge, but that's okay. I'm glad I saw all the sights. So anyway, I got to get going. Again, A gates, super easy to get to. If you are going to B gates and C gates, you do have to do this little like tram or something like that. So do give yourself plenty of time to get through the airport. I'm just going to A19, which is literally just a walk down here by the shops. So it's down here by the kind of the luxury shops down here. So I'm going to go ahead and rip on down here and get this going. A lot of luxury shops. So I was able to grab 2 bananas, 2 oranges. I do need to charge my devices. This camera is on red right now, and I think my microphone probably needs to be charged, but again, it probably juices a little bit more going on 4K, powering on and off all the time. But it's looking crispy, as that hair is looking crispy with that little edge sticking straight up. So E19 is just down here a little bit more. It's actually, I think, like right in the middle. Actually, yeah, it's like right across from Dior is my gate. But again, if you're in that particular lounge or the Concord or Galleries First, then what you do is you need to actually then go, if you're in B or C, it's going to take you a little bit more time to get through. So do give yourself a little bit more time via transit, they call it. So we're going to go straight a little bit more. Yeah, this is like super close to, it is only going to take an extra 60 seconds to get down to A19 from the galleries north. But again, pretty view. You can watch the planes come in, have yourself a little coffee, have yourself a little stew. Have yourself a little stew, We're looking good. All right, we're gonna keep trekking down. Actually, it's like literally right next up. I think Louis Vuitton is my gate. Louis Vuitton! Maybe do a little shopping. Oh yeah, that's a fancy club up there. I don't know which one that one is, but is that? Anyway, that's a fancy dancy lounge up at the top above Louis Vuitton. But here's Dior once again. And so A15, continuing in trek. There we go, A19, right over yonder. We should be boarding. So yeah, I'm right next to the Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton. Good old Louis Vuitton right over there. Again, upstairs is the South Lounge and the Concord room. And I am literally right below it, right over here. Lovely people. Okay, this is the only flight, I'll be honest with you, that wasn't really kind of like you couldn't choose and pick your seats. So we're gonna find out what this is. I'm in 6A, so we'll see what this flight's all about. So let's go check it out. 6A. This is actually British Airways. Where's the plane? Well, I think it's on the other side. So you got to go all the way down this long ramp, and we're flying 6A. So I booked the business It said first, so we'll see how big this plane is. I'll give you a full rundown, but let's get on. Let's sip some water. Let's hang out a little bit. We still got about 20 minutes till takeoff. Yeah, I think the plane has to be around the corner. Geneva, here I come, Geneva. Okay, if you are wondering if you're going to book the long segment, I'm going to film this before anybody does come. It seems like a really mellow flight, but there's nobody here. All the seats are the same. It doesn't matter if you're in the first row, third row. I think actually the emergency area has more room than we particularly do, but they do have a USB charger, so we're going to go ahead and, fully review this as well. This is an Airbus A320, and you couldn't really choose your seats, and I think it's going to be a really quick flight, to be honest with you. Let me go ahead and film the seats here. They are actually really nice. Kind of reminds me of a Delta flight, Delta economy. You have your regular foot room, your regular under the seat room, your regular little pull-out little area here, which someone forgot to take their dirty thing, and then you got a little USB. Actually, that's 60 watts, so that's going to charge up really nice with a Type-C and a USB right there. Absolutely fantastic, not to mention over here as well. So hopefully it's an empty flight. I got a lot of stuff. I got my backpack. I'm probably going to put my backpack up in the overhead bin just in case anybody does come, because then I'm just not so smashed. So let me do that now. Ladies and gentlemen, successful mission to London. That hair's looking crispy. So good news is boarding is complete, and the flight is probably like an 8th full. Like there's nobody on here. Rows all the way up and down. What's good about this particular flight is I think these are maybe meant for the higher tickets, where there's nobody that sits in between you. See that one over there? And then this one, I don't think they book the middle seats. If I would have known it, I would have left my backpack down here, but I'll grab it after takeoff because I need to plug in all my devices. Start charging. Beautiful evening here in London Heathrow, but I'm ready for the next segment. I'm ready to get going, baby. So this is going to be a review of the Airbus A320. Didn't we already fly an Airbus 320 today with American Airlines? I like the red stitching around the seat. The seat's actually very nice. It reminds me of Delta. Delta does a very nice job. I think there's some sort of button on the side. You're always a little delirious. After I land, that's going to be a full 24 hours of travel and probably 2.5 hours, 3 hours of sleep on my overnight flight. Plus walking around London, excitement, trying to get back to the airport, adrenaline dumping. So by the time I get to the Airbnb tonight, your boy's going to be filming. I'll tell you that right now, your boy's going to be filming. But anyway, lovely crew. There's a, lovely crew. When I landed at London Heathrow, it took a little bit of time before the text message came in, but it says, welcome to London Heathrow, or I should say United Kingdom and Great Britain, or I should say United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. It says your plan includes coverage that gives you unlimited data on us now at faster speeds up to 256 kbps plus unlimited text messages at no extra charge, and calls are 25 cents a minute, which I did mention to you earlier. So very, very cool. I'm sending WhatsApp messages and text messages free of charge, but again, the same thing will apply when entering into Switzerland and France. And if you are wondering, yeah, LTE is a little bit slower than your 5G ultra coverage, but it's pretty quick. I'm ordering Ubers. I'm able to look at Google Maps. It's pretty quick. I'm asking X Grok Beta 3 questions, and it does a fantastic job. Now, something I didn't even check, and maybe I blundered in my attempt to get into the gallery's first lounge. I could have potentially used my Dallas-Fort Worth ticket heading to London Heathrow. That showed business class international, and so maybe that one would have got me in, and maybe the British Airways leg didn't show business class or first class. I'm not really sure, but when they scanned my ticket at the gallery's first lounge at London Heathrow, I got denied, like I mentioned, and then I went over to the other lounge with my London Heathrow to Geneva ticket, and they just scan it, and you got in. You might as well try. So giving you a little heads up about that one, I might have used the wrong ticket to try to have access for that. I'm not sure if that even mattered or not, but try your international, like, overnight flight or, long flight from the US or wherever you're coming from to try to get into that particular lounge. Again, the regular galleries north, it was nice, but I wish I would have been able to go over to the satellite. That would have been the ticket, but I didn't have that much time after going into London for the day, so no harm, no foul. Overall, experience was very nice. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are off. And a quick takeoff, too. I barely went down that runway before we lifted up. The cityscape over there in the background there. Very nice. So London actually isn't, like London proper, isn't that far away. I think that's just a bridge over there, though. I think we're heading the right direction on the left side of the plane, heading to Geneva. I think we're gonna fly over London once again. So I'm sitting on the proper side.
My name is Lee Reynolds and I'm the in-flight lead on our flight to Geneva today. It's my pleasure to welcome you all on board.
Now we're going to turn and head south. Okay, so power works after the seatbelt sign has been turned off. I think they're going to do a beverage service as well. And there is on-flight Wi-Fi and there is free text messaging through that. But I think you have to be the executive club of British Airways. I'll log in and see what's going on with that and see what the plans cost. Your boy's going to need another coffee for sure, because after I land in Geneva I gotta get my rental car and then I gotta go hour 15 to Chamonix. Français, parlez-vous français? Oui, 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 oui. And that, my friends, is the English UK coastline right there. There we go, heading across the pond, my friends. So we're crossing the English Channel right now, and you can't really see it probably, but that is, I believe, the French side of the English Channel right there. Yeah, you can see that right there. Beautiful. And I'm not sure if alcoholic beverages are included, but very nice staff on the plane, and she was kind of pushing it kind of hard, and it might be free. I do not know. I'm getting a black cup of coffee, but heading into the French side, absolutely stunning. So I look behind me, I can see the English coast, and then I can see the French coast right below me. So right there. All right, I definitely think, I'm not sure if everyone's getting this as well, but this is called afternoon tea, and I got the smoked salmon, and it looks like they have all sorts of cool stuff, like almost like a peanut butter and jelly, and then a little bit of like something or other on there. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but with the cutlery, I definitely think that this is their upgraded class in the flight, and we only have like 55 minutes remaining, but you got a little flan, a little strawberry jam, a little biscuit, a little cottage cream right there. I think that's maybe some cream cheese, some nice cutlery, and a black cup of coffee in an actual ceramic cup, which you definitely have to enjoy that. So let me go ahead and tuck on into this while I'm enjoying that beautiful view right there. Also, you could have got roast beef if you wanted to as well, or one or the other. So if you're not used to afternoon tea, everything is kind of sweet. The salmon was delightful. The one in the middle, it was good, but the salmon was a lot better. And then the white one, which looked like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I still don't know what that was, but it was good. But kicker is this middle roll right here. It has a lightly sweetness to it with the strawberry jam, delightful. And then I think this is just a fawn, but I can't eat too much of this stuff. I did walk all around London today though, that's true, up and down the airport, but very delightful. I think I'm gonna take one more bite of this bread roll with jam, one more bite of this, but you can't be eating like this all the time. A lot of rich food, which I'm not used to that, but my lunch in the lounge today at the Galleries Lounge was just a light salad and fruit. I mean, really light salad, tuna fish and fruit, which was very nice, by the way. Oh, and that wrap was really good at the lounge as well. Okay, so if you are an executive club member, you can do messaging for free, or if you want to browse and stream, it's £4.99. So 4.99 pounds, which the US has to tack on about 30% more, and messaging is 1.99 pounds for the duration of the flight. So my Ubers into town actually cost me 30% more because unfortunately Trump's devaluing the dollar for interest rates to go lower. So Americans, be prepared. The pound has 30% on us right now. The seats do recline very slightly. You can see a little bit there. The button is right down here next to my finger right there, and you do have adequate armrests. And what's nice about these seats is that you put all your coffee and your charging, all your utilities. So if there was someone sitting over there where my backpack is they would have this side, I would have this side right here, and so it's just a little extra oomph. I like what I'm seeing. Not to mention, I didn't even know we were gonna have tea time. I mean, if I would have known that, I would have made myself a stew. All right, so you see clouds right there, and then these little hills behind it have snow on them, and I'm like, oh, okay, there's, first tracks of snow. And then these massive Alps just right behind them, which the camera can barely pick up, but let me point to it. So again, the foothills right behind the clouds. So those are clouds. In the middle is the foothills with snow, and then these sharp Alps just jetting up. I don't know if that's Lake Geneva or not. I don't think so. That is a big lake, though, right in front of us. The body of water that you can see. So if you are wondering, let's go ahead and wrap up this flight. Service, absolutely incredible. So friendly. American Airlines and British Airways know how to do it. A little tea time, fantastic. Coffee, excellent. Seats, very, very comfortable. Room, you have extra room next to you. I don't know what the leg of this personal flight would cost, because I did it with an extensive from Colorado Springs Airport to my final destination, Geneva. But if you got a free upgrade, as long as it's not too much more, sure, why not? It's such a short flight, so do consider that. I mean, I would probably be able to crank out 2 chapters and then the flight's done. But overall, a very nice experience. I like the fast charging. I like the area in the middle right here. And the staff was absolutely incredible. Big thumbs up in my book. Alrighty, folks, we are going to be making our descent over these beautiful hills, mountains right here. Oh, those are actually, that's actually a ski. No, looks like a ski run. Maybe a very itty bitty mountain, because those are definitely chairlifts that are cut in there. Maybe a very small ski hill. Oh yeah, looks like a groomed run, kind of a small mountain. So then we're gonna loop back around because Geneva was behind us, and I did see the big water spray that comes up out of the lake. And I've actually been to Geneva before, so we're gonna do a big circle around and then land. So I forgot how beautiful Geneva was. I was here in the summertime, but the sharp mountains in the back of Geneva is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. As we're leaning into our turn, you have these beautiful farm, because it's a little bit lower, green pastures, snowy area right here, and then the Alps. Goodness gracious. Oh, that has to be, it's kind of hard for you to see, that has to be Mont Blanc. I think Mont Blanc is 15,000 foot mount, and that's absolutely just rocket shipping out of the Alps right there. So like, if the camera can pick that up, like all the Alps are kind of the same, and then there's some massive peaks just pitching right there. That has to be a Mont Blanc. And there's Geneva off in the distance. So again, circling around, and we'll head on in. Welcome, folks, to beautiful Geneva. Thank you, Lord, for landing this plane pristinely in the name of Jesus Christ. And thank you for this beautiful trip I'm going to have. This is absolutely an abundant world that you've created, and I'm very thankful for it. Welcome to Geneva. There's some private planes over there to our left. So something that you might not be aware of Geneva is that Geneva has a French side and a Switzerland side. So you can actually enter the airport from the France side, or you can enter the airport from the Swiss side, French side. So I have to go get my rental car on the French side. So I don't know where I'm driving out of, and so I'll keep you updated about that as I go from the Geneva airport to Chamonix, France.
Thank you.
Alrighty, well, we're waiting for my bag to come out. Let me talk to you about landing in Geneva. You have to go customs once again. Okay, here's my bag. Hold on one second. Okay, so I think my snowboard bag is going to come over by the big bags where all the other skis are coming out yonder over there. I think that's actually one of my bags right there. So anyway, picked up my bag. You got to go through customs again when you pull into Geneva, Switzerland. This time it was an actual agent, not like UK. So just give you a heads up about that one. Lines weren't long at all. Blitzed through it very quickly. Let me go grab my snowboard bag over yonder here, and then we will get the rental car. I am renting from Eurocar, and looking absolutely forward to it. So let's get going. And luckily that was a free bag for a product review, because that long of a flight got a little scuffed up there. Yeah, you can clean it, I guess. I don't know what that is. It's almost like coffee or chocolate, but they just stacked bags on top of them. So hopefully everything is legit, but everything looks good. All right, if you are wondering, the rental car companies have locations on the French side and the Swiss side. Now, you'll see signs for the Swiss side, La Voiture, but that does not mean you got to pay attention to your reservation. The person on the Swiss side was very accommodating, and they said, oh, hey, you know, sorry, you actually got to go to the French side. And there's signs that say French sector. Unfortunately, it doesn't say like French sector La Voiture. So just a little heads up on that one. And so with this big bag, there's supposed to be an elevator right here in the middle with my snowboard bag. So it's up on the second floor. So you'll exit customs after you get your baggage and then make your way to the elevator, which is right here. If you have a massive snowboard bag like myself, which I gotta be able to probably jimmy rig this. Hold on, let me put the camera down. Alrighty, something you always do before you leave the rental car facility, you get video proof. We're literally right here, just pulled out of the area at Eurocar, and you want to get everything. I did book this with American Express, so they'll cover anything, but you don't want any issues at all. So again, you want to look it over all the way, top to bottom, and this is really good video proof as well. For any scratches, you want to look at it in the light, because sometimes with especially international rental car companies, you want to be very careful. And you wanna, tires are good, rims are good. Also check the rims for curb rash as well. Let me do that to this one. Always check for curb rash right here, as well as on the top. And down below, making sure there's no messed up fender plastic or anything like that. And I might have to move the car real quick. And coming around this side, over here, the doors, another little small scuff, but just came off with the fingernail. This tire looks good, and your boy is ready to go. Crash out for the night, that is for sure. Okay, everything looks good. Front bumper looks good. Let me look at this real quick over here on this side. Okay, besides that one scuff, that's the only thing I personally see in this light, which is kind of dark down here. It was the driver door right over here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, in the rental car, let me get out of the city, because driving in a foreign country, you know, not too bad, but I got navigation, praise the Lord, for T-Mobile, and I will tell you all about this rental car tomorrow. Currently 7:52 p.m., and I diverted a scam at the rental car company with Eurocar. It's just an upscale scam, so I will let you know all about that when I'm a little bit more refreshed with some coffee tomorrow. Let's go. Okay, so it's a little dark right now, but this is Lake Geneva. And then you have Rolex, Cartier, JP Morgan, all the really fancy shops across the way over here. And sorry, it is fogging up a little bit. Let me roll down the window a little bit. A couple fancy hotels right here. Again, here we go here. Lake Geneva over to our left. All some fancy buildings over yonder. Now renting from the French side, I don't know if I'm going the fastest way, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I jumped in the car, it was like an hour 50 something or other, which I thought that drive was only supposed to be like an hour and 15 to Chamonix. Oh, beautiful street though in Geneva. We'll go cruise down that. There's Prada and there's Mont Blanc. The lighting in here is nice from those shop windows, that's for sure. I mean, regardless, yeah, even if I'm for some reason going the wrong way, this is the way Google Maps is taking me. And it's actually really nice to see it at nighttime. 7 for All Mankind right there. Driving through the city. Beautiful night shots though. I think maybe because I had it on avoid tolls and it took me like all around the city, it just seems way out of the way. But anyway, regardless, saw Lake Geneva and Geneva at nighttime with the pretty streets. So that's cool. We got that going for us. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's why you watch my videos, because I try to help you avoid some critical mistakes. So yeah, that drive should have been, I'll Google map it tomorrow, but it took me, I mean, it was nice seeing Geneva at night. I won't be able to drive that like that before I do return the rental car back to Geneva on the French side. But I did have Google Maps set to avoid tolls because I do that in America. And so anyway, I finally got on the highway and I saw signs for Chamonix, and then it like took me off the highway and I was like, what in the world? It said Chamonix 40, like maybe 40 kilometers or something like that, or maybe 40 minutes, I'm not exactly sure. And then I looked down and GPS still had me at like an hour 15, and I was like, man, I just need to pull over, do my options back to initiate tolls. And so we'll see, you know, we'll see where the tolls are. It's probably just a few shekels. But if you are wondering, the speed limit is 130 kilometers. But this car is pretty fancy and it beeps on you when you're under and it beeps on you when you're over. But we're on the right pace. So anywho, yeah, wasted a little bit of time driving around, getting lost a little bit. But again, it was nice seeing Lake Geneva with all the fancy buildings at night. And then I'm glad I fixed it to save about 30 minutes or so. Okay, I think I'm coming up to my first toll, so we will see what it is. All right, 220 euros, and they do accept credit card or Euro cash. Definitely glad they accepted credit card. I did have a $20 Euro bill on me just in case, but again, it's going to shave down your time significantly. I think it would pull at least 50 minutes off of your drive time, and I'll tell you how many toll booths I hit by the time I finally got on the highway till I get to Chamonix. Now, actually, I'm staying in La Houche the first 4 days, which is literally just down the street. I just saw a sign for 39 minutes to Chamonix, so La Houche, I think, is actually before, about like maybe 10 minutes or so. So I'll look at GPS here in just a second. Now I'm gonna be making a full video about the travel hacks, but my American Airlines City card, it's like a Vantage Platinum or something or other, it doesn't have any foreign transaction fees. So you're not gonna get hit with like 1%, 2%, 3% that some credit cards do wax you. Pretty much all of my cards did. I only found one card that was like 1%. So I wanted to sign up for my American Airline miles. That's why I jumped on that one. Alrighty, well, that last one was 480 euros, so 4.80 euros for some oddball reason. So that was the second one I just passed through that I am talking about right now since I jumped on the highway. I only have like 22 more minutes to La Houche, and then Chamonix is 37 kilometers, so they might try to wax you. Now again, after this trip is over, I will give you a full rundown if a rental car is needed, because you can take the bus and then you can take the free transportation in Chamonix with your Mont Blanc Unlimited Pass. Again, I just rented the car for convenience purposes, as well as reviewing it, as well as I want to go to some Swiss mountains and the Italian mountains in the Italian Alps. So I really just didn't want to deal with like longer train rides, bus rides, and all that just to hit the slopes. So for me, it was a convenience factor. Now, if you were to take the bus, you know, they would charge you a flat rate fee. I'm not really sure what that is from the airport to Chamonix, but of course that ticket fee would be included with all the tolls. Hopefully I don't hit another one. Reminds me of Brazil. On the way up to Salvador Airport, it was like an hour-and-a-half drive, maybe a 2-hour drive, and I think they got you at least 3 times. Goodness gracious, it reminds me of Sedona, which I'm actually gonna upload that footage after this trip, but it's like super dark up here, but you know how beautiful it is, and I can't see any mountains right now. We're heading up into the montañas. Montañas. We got our first tunnel, and praise the Lord, it's been beautifully sunny the last several days, so there's absolutely no snow on the ground. Now I will talk to you about Chamonix and their winter tire law, which was kind of part of the upscale scam of the rental car. So I'll fill you in all about that. I'll also talk to you tomorrow when I'm a little bit more crisp and put it in the video about going from the Swiss side to the French side of the airport, which wasn't that bad. You just had to, in order to enter France and do your rental car, you had to show your passport and your ticket boarding pass from your last flight. So obviously you have all that over your app, but just don't throw any of that stuff away until you're free and clear, because you might not have internet access. If you're stuck in the tube in London, cement everywhere, you might not have reception. Alrighty, another tunnel here. And so far, I think I'm gonna hit it with only 2 toll roads to at least La Houche, but I do see something flagged as yellow, but I don't think that's it. I don't think that's another toll road. So I think by doing Geneva around the lake, I think I probably avoided at least 1. Plus, gotta see Geneva at night. Hey, it's all greasy bees. Let's go, baby! La Houche! Mont Blanc. Alrighty, we are almost there. We're gonna be turning, let me get there, and then we gotta film this during the daytime. I mean, good night. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I finally found the Airbnb because it's dark and they didn't really leave any lights on. And I did pull up to this one about 15 minutes ago, and it's absolutely stunning. I mean, it's a brand new build. Goodness gracious. So here it is. And again, it's not going to do it justice at all. I thought this was it. Ah, this is a beautiful property, folks. We'll get some better shots in the daytime.
Breathing